Babe, look at this one. 37,000 likes in 2 hours. That guy with the verified checkmark called me a goddess. A literal goddess. That's what my wife said to me while I was making dinner on a Tuesday night. Not hello. Not how was your day. Just 37,000 strangers and a verified checkmark. I didn't look up from the cutting board. I'd learned that looking only encouraged it. That's nice, Rachel, I said. Nice? Marcus, do you even understand what this means? 37,000 people think I'm beautiful. That's more than the population of some towns. I put the knife down, turned around. She was standing in the kitchen doorway wearing a silk robe that barely covered anything, phone in one hand, ring light in the other. Her face was perfectly made up, even though we hadn't left the house all day. Are you taking another photo right now? I asked. The lighting in here is perfect during sunset. Golden hour, babe. You wouldn't understand. She angled herself against the doorframe, arched her back, let the robe slip off one shoulder. The phone camera clicked 3, 4, 5 times. I watched her review each one, delete, retake, delete, retake. Which one? She asked, shoving the phone in my face. The one where I'm looking at the camera or away? Both photos showed my wife in a robe that revealed more than it covered. Both showed her in our home, our private space, now about to be broadcast to 37,000 strangers who already thought she was a goddess. Rachel, can we eat dinner first? I made your favorite. You're not even looking. She pulled the phone back, scrolled through the options herself. Whatever. I'll just post both. More content, more engagement. She tapped her screen a few times, then smiled. That smile. The one I used to love. The one that used to be for me when I'd surprise her with flowers or remember some small detail she'd mentioned weeks ago. Now that smile was for her phone. For the little heart icon that told her strangers approved. Posted, she said. Watch. This one's going to blow up. I served dinner. She sat across from me, phone face up next to her plate. It buzzed constantly. Every few seconds, another notification. Another like. Another comment. Another stranger telling my wife what they thought of her body. Are you going to eat? I asked after 5 minutes of watching her scroll. I am eating, she said, not looking up. Her plate was untouched. Rachel. What? She finally looked at me, annoyed. I'm right here, aren't I? We're having dinner together. Are we? She sighed like I was the unreasonable one. You're so dramatic lately. I'm literally sitting across from you. Physically, yeah. What's that supposed to mean? I didn't answer. I'd learned that explaining only started fights. Fights where she'd accuse me of being controlling, insecure, jealous. Fights where somehow I became the villain for wanting my wife's attention during dinner. Her phone buzzed again. She glanced at it, smiled, typed something back. Who are you texting? I asked, responding to comments. People are being so sweet. Sweet. Yeah. Look at this one. Your husband is the luckiest man alive. See. People are respectful. I reached across the table. Can I see? She hesitated for just a second. Just long enough for me to know I shouldn't see. But she handed it over anyway, probably figuring I'd find nothing. I scrolled through the comments on her latest post. The one with the robe. Lucky man. Stunning. Gorgeous. Beautiful. Those were fine. Generic. The kind of compliments you might give a sunset or a painting. Then I kept scrolling. I'd do anything to wake up next to that. That body is illegal. Forget the husband. I'll treat you right. Show us more. Husband's a fool if he doesn't worship you every night. Drop the robe next time. And dozens more. Hundreds more. Men of all ages, some with profile pictures showing wedding rings, some young enough to still be in college. All of them talking about my wife like she was performing for them. Like she was available. Like I didn't exist. These are respectful? I asked, turning the phone to show her. She barely glanced at it. Oh, those. Yeah. There's always a few weird ones. You just ignore those. A few. Marcus, it's the internet. What do you expect? I expect my wife not to post photos that invite men to talk about her body. Her fork clattered against the plate. Here we go? I knew you'd make this about control. It's not about control. Then what's it about? Because every time I post anything, you have a problem. Every time I feel confident, you shut me down. You think this is confidence? Yes. I'm finally comfortable in my own skin. I'm finally getting the validation I deserve. From strangers. From people who appreciate me. I set her phone down carefully. Took a breath. I appreciate you. You never tell me I'm beautiful anymore. That stopped me cold. Because it wasn't true. I told her every morning. Every time she walked into a room. Every time she laughed at something stupid I said. But she wasn't listening to me anymore. She was listening to her phone. I tell you constantly, I said quietly. When? When was the last time you made me feel special? Last week. I took off work early to surprise you with that. You mean when you interrupted my photo shoot? When you made me feel guilty for creating content? Rachel, you were in lingerie on our bed taking photos for strangers. For my followers. There's a difference. Is there? She stood up, grabbed her phone. I'm not doing this. I'm not going to apologize for being confident, for being desired, for mattering to people. You matter to me. Then why don't you ever like my posts? Why don't you comment? Why don't you support what I'm doing? Because what you're doing is destroying us. She laughed. Actually laughed. You're so insecure. You can't handle that other men find me attractive. That's your problem, not mine. It's not about other men finding you attractive. It's about you needing them to. I don't need anything. I want it. There's a difference. Okay, then stop. Stop posting for 1 week. If you don't need it, prove it. Her face changed. The confidence cracked just slightly. That's ridiculous. Why would I stop? I'm building something here. I'm growing my platform. For what? For opportunities. For maybe doing this full time. People make careers out of this now. Careers out of posting revealing photos? Out of content creation. Out of brand partnerships. Out of being an influencer. You have a career. You're a graphic designer. You went to school for 4 years for that career. And I'm bored with it. This is exciting. This makes me feel alive. Strangers on the internet make you feel alive. Yes, they see me. They appreciate me. They make me feel wanted. I'm right here, Rachel. I'm right in front of you. Wanting you. Appreciating you. It's different. How? She didn't answer. Just stood there holding her phone like a lifeline. If you're still here listening to this, stay with me. Because what happened next changed everything. That night, I couldn't sleep. Rachel was next to me, scrolling through her phone, bathed in blue light. It was 1 in the morning. She'd been on her phone since we went to bed at 11. Come to bed, I'd said. I am in bed, she'd replied. But she wasn't. Not really. She was somewhere else. Somewhere I couldn't reach. I lay there staring at the ceiling, listening to her type. Listening to the constant buzz of notifications. Wondering when it had gotten this bad. Wondering if it had always been this bad, and I just hadn't wanted to see it. We'd been married for 4 years. Together for 7. She'd always liked taking photos. Always been conscious of how she looked. But it was normal. She'd take a few pictures on vacation, post them, forget about it. Then 2 years ago, one of her photos went viral. Some fitness page shared it. She gained 5,000 followers overnight. And something shifted. She started posting more. Started caring more about angles, lighting, outfits. Started checking her follower count like a stock portfolio. At first, I thought it was a phase. Everyone wants their 15 minutes, right? But 15 minutes turned into 6 months, turned into a year, turned into her entire personality. Now she couldn't go anywhere without documenting it. Couldn't eat a meal without photographing it. Couldn't exist without an audience watching. And the photos kept getting more revealing. Started with fitness progress pictures. Then gym outfits. Then bikinis. Then lingerie. Each post got more attention than the last. And each time she got more attention, she pushed further. I tried talking to her about it before. Tried explaining how it made me feel. She'd say I was being possessive. That I wanted to control her body. That I was threatened by her success. But this wasn't about success. This was about watching my wife trade our privacy, our intimacy, our marriage for likes from men who would forget her name by tomorrow. Rachel, I said into the darkness. Can you put the phone down? Just for tonight. In a minute. I'm responding to DMs. At 1 in the morning. People are in different time zones. Marcus. I rolled over to face her. Her face was lit up by the screen, eyes wide and alert, completely absorbed. She was smiling at something someone had sent her. What's funny? I asked. Nothing. Just, this guy sent me a really sweet message about how I inspired him to get back in the gym. Can I see it? Why? Don't you trust me? Should I? She locked her phone, finally looked at me. What's that supposed to mean? You're having conversations with strange men at 1 in the morning while lying in bed next to your husband. You don't see the problem with that. They're not conversations. They're messages. And I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm being supportive to my followers. Your followers. You keep calling them that like they're your community. Rachel, they're strangers who like looking at your body. That's so reductive. Some of them are genuinely interested in my fitness journey, my lifestyle, Your what? Your marriage? Because you never post about that anymore. When's the last time I was in one of your photos? She was quiet for a moment. You don't like being in photos. I don't like being erased. You're being dramatic. Am I? Look at your profile. Right now. Show me one photo from the last 6 months where I exist. She didn't move. You can't, can you? Because I've been cropped out, edited out, removed from your perfect life that you're selling to strangers. I'm not selling anything. Then what do you call it when men send you money? Her face went pale. How do you know about that? I saw the notification last week. Someone sent you $200 on that app. For what, Rachel? What did $200 buy them? It wasn't like that. He was just being generous. He appreciated my content and wanted to support me. Support you how? What content is worth $200 from a stranger? I sent him a personalized thank you video. My blood went cold. What kind of video? Just me saying thank you. Saying his name. Nothing weird. Was I in the house when you made this video? She didn't answer. Rachel, was I here? You were at work. So you waited until I was gone to make a personalized video for a man who paid you $200. You're twisting this into something it's not. Then explain it to me. Explain why my wife is making private videos for men who send her money. It's not private. It's just personalized. Influencers do this all the time. It's called fan engagement. You're not an influencer. You're my wife. I can be both. Can you? Because right now, I'm not seeing much evidence of the wife part. She turned away from me, phone clutched to her chest. You wouldn't understand. You've never wanted anything more than your boring job and your boring routine. I want more. I want to be seen. I want to matter. You matter to me. Stop saying that like it's enough. And there it was. The truth she'd been dancing around for months. I wasn't enough. My love wasn't enough. Our marriage wasn't enough. She needed more. More attention. More validation. More proof that she existed. I got out of bed. Where are you going? She asked. Guest room. I can't watch this anymore. Watch what? Watch me texting? You're being ridiculous. I'm being married. Or at least trying to be. But I can't compete with an audience of thousands who tell you what you want to hear. I'm not asking you to compete. Yes, you are. Every time you choose your phone over dinner with me. Every time you'd rather read comments from strangers than talk to your husband. Every time you perform for people who don't know you instead of being present with the person who does. I walked to the door. Marcus, wait. I stopped but didn't turn around. I'm not trying to hurt you, she said quietly. I know. That almost makes it worse. I closed the door behind me and stood in the hallway, listening to her typing resume almost immediately. The bed creaked as she shifted. Her phone buzzed with another notification. And another. And another. She didn't come after me. The next morning, I woke up to the smell of coffee. For a moment, I thought maybe she'd realized something. Maybe we'd turned a corner. Then I walked into the kitchen and saw her standing by the window in athletic wear, phone propped on the counter, recording herself making breakfast. She didn't notice me at first. She was too busy getting the right angle, the right light. Good morning, I said. She jumped, grabbed the phone. You ruined my shot. Sorry. Didn't realize I was interrupting a performance. Don't start. I'm trying something new. Lifestyle content. Morning routine videos are really popular right now. I poured myself coffee. So our morning is content now. Our morning? You were asleep in the guest room. Because you were up until 3 texting strangers. She didn't deny it. Just reset her phone and started recording again. I watched her transform. Her face shifted into this bright, energetic expression. Her voice went up an octave. She became someone else entirely. Good morning, beautiful souls, she said to the camera. Today I'm making my favorite protein smoothie. It's super easy and keeps you full for hours. She went through the motions, talking to the camera like it was her best friend, explaining each ingredient, making jokes, being charming, being everything she used to be with me. When she finished, she checked the footage, nodded to herself, and only then seemed to remember I was in the room. Sorry, what were you saying? She asked. Nothing important. Okay, well, I've got to edit this and post it before the algorithm shifts. Breakfast is on the counter if you want some. She walked past me without another word, phone in hand, already absorbed in editing. I stood there holding my coffee, staring at the smoothie she'd made for content, not for me. The blender was still out. The fruit was still on the counter. She'd cleaned nothing because that wasn't part of the video. My phone buzzed. A text from my brother James. Dude, is everything okay with Rachel? I stared at the message. Typed back, why? 3 dots appeared. Then his response. Her Instagram is getting out of control. Some of those photos. Man, I don't want to overstep, but people are talking. What people? Guys from the gym. They've been following her. Commenting. Saying things I'm not going to repeat to you. I opened Instagram. Went to her profile. She'd posted the morning routine video already. 3 minutes ago. It already had 800 likes. But that wasn't what James was talking about. I scrolled down. Past the workout videos. Past the outfit posts. And then I saw it. A photo from last night. After our fight. After I'd gone to the guest room. She was in our bedroom, wearing a black lace set I'd never seen before. The caption read, "Sometimes you have to remind yourself of your own worth. No validation needed except your own dot." The irony would have been funny if it didn't make me sick. The comments were exactly what I expected. Hundreds of men telling her exactly what they'd do if they were her husband. Telling her she deserved better. Telling her to leave me if I didn't appreciate her. And she'd liked some of them. Hearted them. Responded with winky faces and thank you messages. I scrolled further. More photos. All recent. All revealing. Some I'd never seen her take. She must have been doing entire photo shoots while I was at work. Changing outfits. Changing poses. Spending hours creating content for strangers while I thought she was home working on her actual job. One photo stopped me cold. It was taken in my home office. She was sitting in my chair, wearing one of my dress shirts and nothing else. The shirt was unbuttoned just enough to be suggestive. The caption, borrowed from his closet. He won't mind it. 17,000 likes. The comments were worse on this one. I'd never let her out of that shirt. He's an idiot if he's not home right now. Why are you wasting time with someone who doesn't appreciate this? You could do so much better than whoever he is. And then I saw one that made my stomach drop. It was from someone named Derek. His profile picture showed a guy in his 20s, good-looking, gym body. When you're ready to upgrade, I'm in Denver too. Just saying. She'd liked it. She'd hearted a comment from a stranger saying he wanted to replace me. In my shirt. In my office. On my chair. I walked upstairs. Didn't knock. Just opened the bedroom door. She was on the bed, phone in hand, editing another video. How much? I asked. She looked up, confused. What? How much would it cost for you to delete your account? Are you serious right now? Completely. Name a price. How much would it take for you to stop doing this? Marcus, I'm not deleting my account. I have almost 50,000 followers now. 50,000 strangers who want to fuck you. She flinched at the word. That's disgusting. Is it? Because that's what they're saying. I just read through your comments. I saw what they're saying about you. About us. About what they'd do if they had the chance. And, so what? Words on a screen don't mean anything. They mean something to you. Enough to spend hours taking photos for them. Enough to post our private life for them. Enough to like comments from men who want to replace me. I don't like comments like that. I pulled up my phone, showed her Derek's comment. The little red heart under it showed she'd liked it 6 hours ago. Her face paled. That was an accident. You accidentally hearted a comment from a guy in our city telling you to upgrade from your husband. I like hundreds of comments a day. I don't read them all. But you read that one. And you liked it. She set her phone down. What do you want from me, Marcus? Do you want me to apologize for being attractive? For having people who appreciate me? I want you to remember you're married. I am married. To someone who makes me feel guilty every time I feel good about myself. That's not what this is. Then what is it? Because from where I'm sitting, you want to control me. You want me to stop posting, stop creating, stop being confident just because it makes you uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable because you're showing our private life to strangers. Because you're inviting men to comment on your body. Because you're spending more time with your phone than with me. Because you liked a comment from a guy who wants to take my place. He doesn't want to take your place. He doesn't even know you exist. Exactly. Because you've erased me. I'm the invisible husband. The one you never mention. The one who's not allowed in the frame of your perfect life. Because my followers don't want to see couple content. They want to see me. And you love that. Yes. I love being seen. I love being wanted. I love matching to people. You matter to me. Stop saying that. She stood up, face flushed. Stop saying that like it should be enough. Like I should be grateful for one person's attention when I could have thousands. There it was again. The truth. Louder this time. So I'm not enough? I said quietly. I didn't say that. You didn't have to. I turned to leave. Where are you going? To think about whether I want to stay married to someone who needs thousands of strangers to feel valued. You're being dramatic. Am I? Rachel, answer me honestly. If I asked you right now to choose between me and your Instagram, what would you choose? She opened her mouth, closed it, looked at her phone. That pause told me everything. I need to post this video, she finally said. The algorithm. Right? The algorithm. Wouldn't want to disappoint the algorithm. I left, got in my car, drove to my brother's house. James opened the door, took one look at my face, and stepped aside to let me in. That bad, he asked. Worse. We sat in his living room. He handed me a beer. How long has this been going on, he asked. 2 years. But it's gotten worse in the last 6 months. The photos, the comments, the men, the fact that she cares more about her phone than her marriage. Have you talked to her? Every day? She thinks I'm controlling, that I can't handle her being confident. That's bullshit. This isn't confidence. Confidence doesn't need constant validation from strangers. That's what I said. What are you going to do? I took a long drink. I don't know. Part of me wants to fight for this. For her. For us. But another part is tired. Tired of competing with an audience. Tired of being erased. Tired of watching my wife become someone I don't recognize. My phone buzzed. A text from Rachel. You're overreacting. Come home and let's talk like adults. I showed James. Is she still posting? He asked. I checked her Instagram. The morning routine video had been up for 2 hours now. She just posted another photo. This one was her in front of our bedroom mirror, in a sports bra and leggings, caption reading. When he's mad, but you still look this good. 2,300 likes in 8 minutes. The top comment, his loss. You're a queen. She'd hearted it. Yeah, I told James. She's still posting. He shook his head. Man, I'm sorry. Me too. I stayed at James's that night. Rachel texted me 4 times. Each message got progressively less apologetic and more defensive. First text. Can we please talk about this? Second text. You're being childish. Third text. I'm not apologizing for posting content. That's not fair. Fourth text. Fine. Stay gone. I've got brand deals to work on anyway. I didn't respond to any of them. Around midnight, James came into the guest room. You awake? Yeah. She just posted again. I don't want to see it. Marcus, you need to see this one. He handed me his phone. It was a photo of Rachel in our living room, red wine in hand, wearing a tight black dress I'd bought her for our anniversary. The dress she'd worn exactly once, on our anniversary. The caption, to new beginnings and knowing your worth. Sometimes the people closest to you are the ones who see you the least. Here's to being seen. 15,000 likes in 30 minutes. And in the comments, Derek again, I see you. And you're stunning. That offer still stands. She'd hearted it. Again. This time, there was no way it was an accident. I handed the phone back to James. What are you going to do? He asked. I stared at the ceiling for a long time before answering. I'm going to stop fighting for someone who doesn't want to be fought for. You mean? Yeah, I think I'm done. The next morning, I drove home. Rachel's car was in the driveway. I'd half expected her to be gone, at a photo shoot or meeting with a brand, or whatever justified her spending 0 time on our actual marriage. But she was home. I found her in the kitchen, phone in hand, scrolling through comments on last night's post. She looked up when I walked in. You came back. I live here. For now. There it was. The challenge. The assumption that I'd be the one to leave. We need to talk, I said. I'm listening. I sat down across from her. I saw your post last night. Which one? I posted 3 times. The one with the wine. The one about new beginnings. She shrugged. I was feeling introspective. You were performing. For an audience. What's wrong with that? You posted it while we were fighting, Rachel. You turned our marriage into content. Again, I didn't mention you. You didn't have to. Everyone knows who you're talking about. Your followers know you're married. They know I'm the one who doesn't see you. You made me the villain in your story. Maybe you are the villain. That landed harder than I expected. Is that what you think? I asked quietly. I think you can't handle a confident woman. I think you want me small and quiet and grateful. I think you're intimidated by the fact that thousands of people want what you take for granted. I don't take you for granted. You took 2 days to respond to my texts. Because I needed space. Because watching you prioritize your phone over our marriage was destroying me. See? You're making this about you. About your feelings. What about mine? What about the fact that I finally feel good about myself? That I finally feel beautiful and wanted and worthy? You were always worthy, Rachel. You were always beautiful. I told you every single day. It's different when it comes from them. Why? Because they choose to say it. Because they don't have to. Because they see me and decide I'm worth their time, their attention, their money. She stopped. Yeah, I know about the money. I know men are sending you money, paying you for personalized videos, for attention, for whatever fantasy they're buying from you. It's not like that. Then what's it like? Explain to me how my wife making private videos for men who pay her is innocent. They're not private. They're just personalized. I say their name, thank them for supporting me. That's it. Show me. What? Show me one of these videos. Right now? If it's innocent, show me. She hesitated. I don't have to prove anything to you. No, you don't. But your refusal is proof enough. I stood up, walked to our bedroom, started pulling clothes out of the closet. She followed me. What are you doing? Packing. You're leaving? One of us has to. Marcus, stop. Let's talk about this. We've been talking, Rachel, for months, and nothing changes. You keep posting. Keep prioritizing strangers. Keep choosing your phone over me. I'm done talking. So you're just giving up? Just throwing away 4 years of marriage? I stopped, looked at her, really looked at her. She was perfect. Hair and makeup done, even though it was 9 in the morning. Outfit carefully chosen for potential content. Phone in her hand like always, like an extension of her body. And I realized I didn't recognize her anymore. I'm not throwing it away, I said. You already did. Every time you hit post. Every time you ignored me at dinner. Every time you chose validation from strangers over intimacy with your husband. You threw it away piece by piece and called it confidence. That's not fair. What's not fair is being married to someone who's performing a relationship instead of living one. What's not fair is watching my wife sell pieces of herself to strangers for likes. What's not fair is coming second to an algorithm. I never asked you to come second. You didn't have to ask. You just put me there. I zipped the bag. She didn't try to stop me. Where are you going? She asked. James's place. Until I figure out what I'm doing. And us. There is no us, Rachel. There's you, your phone, and 50,000 followers. I'm just the guy who pays the mortgage on the backdrop of your content. I walked past her. She grabbed my arm. Marcus, please. I can change. I can post less. I can. Can you delete your account? She let go of my arm. That's what I thought. I made it to the front door before she said something that stopped me cold. I met someone. I turned around slowly. What? I met someone. Through Instagram. His name is Derek. We've been talking. Derek. The guy from the comments. The one who wanted to upgrade her. Talking, I repeated. Just talking. Nothing physical. But he gets it. He understands what I'm building. He supports my content. He doesn't make me feel guilty for being ambitious. How long? Does it matter? How long? 3 months. 3 months. While I was trying to save our marriage, she'd been talking to another man. A man who'd been commenting on her half-naked photos. A man she'd invited into our problems. Did you tell him about me? I asked. He knows I'm married. That's not what I asked. Did you tell him about me? About us? About our problems? She didn't answer. So you turned our marriage into content for him too. Made me the bad guy, so he could be your hero. Told him how awful I am for not wanting my wife to post lingerie photos for strangers. He doesn't think you're awful. He just thinks we're not compatible. And you agree. I don't know. Maybe. All I know is that talking to him makes me happy. Posting makes me happy. My followers make me happy. And you just make me feel guilty. Because what you're doing is worth feeling guilty about. That's your opinion. No, that's reality. You're having an emotional affair while posting your body for thousands of men, and somehow I'm the problem for having an issue with it. It's not an affair. We're just friends. Friends don't tell married women to upgrade from their husbands. He was joking. Were you joking when you hearted it? Silence. That's what I thought. I picked up my bag. When you're ready to be honest with yourself about what you're doing, you know where to find me. Until then, enjoy your new beginning. I walked out, got in my car, drove away. In the rearview mirror, I saw her standing in the doorway, phone in hand, already taking a photo. I didn't look at her Instagram for 3 weeks. It was harder than I expected, not because I missed her posts, because I needed to know if she'd chosen differently. If maybe, just maybe, she'd realized what she was losing and deleted it all, chosen us over them. But James would update me without me asking. She posted again. Another one with that Derek guy commenting. She's doing sponsored content now. Fitness supplements or something. Man, she just posted about being newly single and finding herself. The comments are brutal. That last one made me check. I opened Instagram for the first time in 3 weeks. Went to her profile. 68,000 followers now. She'd gained 18,000 since I left. The most recent post was from this morning. Rachel standing on a hiking trail, arms outstretched, face to the sun. She was wearing athletic wear that showed every curve. The caption read, "Sometimes you have to lose what's weighing you down to remember how to fly. Grateful for this new chapter. Grateful for all of you who've supported me through the hard times. You've shown me what real love looks like. Sparkles hashtag new beginnings hashtag self-love hashtag freedom feels." 42,000 likes. 3,000 comments. I scrolled through them. You're glowing. He didn't deserve you anyway. Your ex is going to regret losing a queen. So proud of you for choosing yourself. Can I take you on that hike next time? And there, near the top, Derek, still the most beautiful soul I know. Coffee soon. Hot beverage. She'd replied, I'd love that. So that's where we were. 3 weeks separated, and she was already making plans with the guy she'd been emotionally cheating with. The guy she'd sworn was just a friend. I closed the app. Felt sick. My phone rang. Unknown number. Hello. Mr. Chen? This is Patricia Volkov from Volkov Family Law. Your wife retained our services yesterday. I'm calling as a courtesy to let you know you'll be served with divorce papers within the next 48 hours. The room tilted slightly. She filed for divorce? Yes, sir. I'm not at liberty to discuss the details, but I wanted to give you advance notice so you can retain counsel if you haven't already. Right? Thank you. I hung up. She'd filed. She'd actually filed. Part of me had thought this was temporary. That maybe we'd cool off, talk things through, find some middle ground. But she'd skipped all of that. Went straight to a lawyer. Made it official. And somehow, she'd probably turn this into content too. I called my own lawyer that afternoon. Michael Torres, a guy James recommended. Straightforward, no nonsense, expensive but worth it. So your wife is a social media influencer? He asked during our consultation. She calls herself that. I call it an unhealthy obsession with validation from strangers. And this was the primary reason for the separation? Among other things. She was having an emotional affair. Posting increasingly revealing content. Spending money we didn't have on clothes and equipment for photos. Neglecting our relationship entirely. Did she earn income from this social media presence? Some. Sponsorships, brand deals. Maybe $2,000 a month. Nothing close to what I make. And the house. In both our names. I've been paying the mortgage. Michael made notes. This should be relatively straightforward. Colorado is a no-fault state, so the affair won't matter much legally. We'll focus on asset division. The social media income complicates things slightly, but not much. How long will this take? If she's cooperative? 6 months minimum. If she fights? Could be over a year. She'll fight. Most do. He was right. The divorce papers arrived 2 days later. I read through them in James's kitchen while he made coffee. She was asking for the house, the car, half my retirement account, and alimony. Alimony, James said when I told him. She has a job. She quit. Last week apparently. To pursue content creation full-time. You're kidding. Wish I was. I texted Michael the details. He called back within an hour. This is aggressive, he said. She's positioning herself as financially dependent on your income despite being capable of working. We can fight the alimony, but the house is going to be the real battle. I don't care about the house. You should. It's worth $400,000. That's $200,000 in equity you'd be walking away from. It's full of her ring lights and photo backdrops. She can have it. Marcus, I'm advising you as your attorney to think practically here. I am thinking practically. I want this done fast. I want out. She can have the house if it means I never have to see her perform our divorce on Instagram. He sighed. All right, I'll draft a counteroffer. But I'm putting it on record that I advised against this. Noted. We went back and forth for 6 weeks. Her lawyer would send demands. My lawyer would counter. She wanted more money, more assets, more of everything except the marriage itself. And through it all, she kept posting. I tried not to look, but people kept telling me about it. Co-workers, friends, even my mother called. Marcus, I don't want to upset you, but I saw Rachel's Instagram. She's posting some very revealing things. And she's talking about the divorce. About you. What's she saying? Nothing directly, but the implications. The captions. Everyone knows who she's talking about. I hung up and checked. She'd posted a photo of herself in our bedroom. My bedroom. The room I'd moved out of. She was sitting on the bed in a silk robe, makeup perfect, eyes sad for the camera. The caption. Healing looks different for everyone. For me, it's learning that I deserve someone who celebrates my success instead of resenting it. Someone who lifts me up instead of holding me back. Someone who sees my worth. I'm done being made to feel small. Here's to growing. Hashtag divorce glow. Hashtag healing journey. Hashtag know your worth. 96,000 followers now. 58,000 likes. The comments made me want to throw my phone. You're better off without him. His loss is going to hit him eventually. Men can't handle a confident woman. You deserve someone who worships you. I'd worship you every single day. Just saying. Derek had commented too. Proud of your strength. You're inspiring. Red heart. She'd replied with 3 red hearts. So that's what our marriage had become. A villain origin story for her followers. A narrative where I was the insecure husband who couldn't handle his wife's success. Where she was the victim, rising from the ashes, finding herself. Never mind that her success was built on posting half-naked photos for strangers. Never mind that she'd quit her actual career to chase likes. Never mind that she'd been emotionally cheating for months. None of that mattered. The story she was telling was the only one her followers saw. And they ate it up. I showed Michael the posts. Can we use this? I asked. Proof that she's not actually healing or moving on. That she's broadcasting our private life for attention. Unfortunately, no. Social media posts aren't grounds for anything unless they prove infidelity, abuse, or financial misconduct. Being annoying isn't illegal. It should be. 2 months after I left, Rachel texted me directly for the first time since the lawyers got involved. Can we meet? Without lawyers. Just to talk. I stared at the message for 10 minutes before responding. About what? About us. About everything. I think we should talk face to face. There is no us. There are 2 people getting divorced. Marcus, please. 1 coffee. That's all I'm asking. Against my better judgment, I agreed. We met at a coffee shop downtown. Neutral territory. Public enough that she couldn't make a scene. She was already there when I arrived. Sitting by the window, phone face down on the table. That alone was shocking. Hi, she said when I sat down. Hi. For a moment, neither of us spoke. She looked different. Thinner. More makeup than she used to wear. Her outfit was carefully chosen, casual but flattering. The kind of thing you'd wear if you knew you might run into someone with a camera. Or if you were planning to post about this later. How are you? She asked. Getting divorced. You. She flinched. I deserve that. Did you? Marcus, I didn't ask you here to fight. Then why am I here? She took a breath. Because I've been thinking. About us. About what happened. And I think maybe we moved too fast. With the divorce, I mean. You filed, Rachel. I know. And maybe that was a mistake. I stared at her. Are you serious? I miss you. You miss me. Yes. I miss us. I miss what we had. We didn't have anything. I had a wife who was married to her phone. You had an audience. That's not fair, isn't it? You're still posting, Rachel. I see it. Everyone sees it. You turned our divorce into content. Made me the villain. Made yourself the victim. That's not someone who misses what we had. That's someone who misses having a stable home to post from. That's not why I'm here. Then why? Why now? Why after 2 months of lawyer battles and social media posts about how much better off you are without me? She looked down at her coffee. Because Derek wasn't what I thought he was. There it was. Let me guess, I said. He wanted what every guy in your comments wanted. And when you gave him the chance, he showed you exactly who he was. It wasn't like that. What was it like? We went on a few dates. He was nice. Supportive. But then he started suggesting things. For my content. More revealing photos. More personal content. He wanted me to post couple photos with him, wanted to be part of my brand. And when I said I wasn't ready, he got weird about it. Weird how? Possessive. Angry. He said I was leading him on. That I'd been flirting with him for months, that I owed him a chance. He said he'd been investing in me. Like I was a stock or something. I should have felt vindicated. But I just felt tired. So you wanted me to know that the guy you emotionally cheated with turned out to be exactly what I said he was. A stranger who only wanted you for what you were selling. I wasn't selling anything. Yes, you were. You sold access, attention, fantasy, and Derek thought he'd earned enough to cash in. I didn't see it that way. I know. That's the problem. She reached across the table, tried to take my hand. I pulled back. Marcus, please. I made mistakes. I see that now. But we can fix this. We can go to counseling. I can change. Can you? Yes. Prove it. Delete your Instagram. Right now. Her hand moved instinctively to her phone. That's not fair. Why not? If you really want to fix this, if you really miss us, show me. Choose me over them. It's not that simple. I have brand deals. Contracts. People depending on me. People depending on you. You mean strangers who like looking at your body. That's reductive. It's accurate. I can't just delete years of work. So you can't choose us. I'm asking you to meet me halfway. There is no halfway between married and performing for strangers. There's no compromise between being present and being addicted to validation. You either want this or you don't. I do want this. But I also want my career. Your career. Rachel, you quit your actual career to post photos online. You chose that over stability. Over us. And now you want me to be okay with it because one of your followers turned out to be exactly what every follower is. A stranger with expectations. Her eyes filled with tears. Real ones, I thought. But I thought a lot of things about Rachel that turned out to be performances. I can't just give up everything I've built, she said quietly. You didn't build anything. You performed. And the second you stop performing, it all disappears. That's not a career. That's a dependency. You're being cruel. I'm being honest. Something I wish you'd been 8 months ago when you started talking to Derek. Or a year ago when you started prioritizing your phone over our marriage. Or 2 years ago when you decided that strangers' validation mattered more than mine. I stood up. Wait, she said. Where are you going? Home. To James's place. Where I've been living because my wife chose Instagram over her marriage. I chose wrong. I'm admitting that. Doesn't that count for something? It counts for you learning a lesson. But it doesn't undo the damage. It doesn't give me back the 2 years I spent competing with your phone. It doesn't erase the fact that you filed for divorce without even trying to fix things first. I was hurt. I was angry. So you did what you always do. You performed your hurt for an audience instead of actually dealing with it. That's not fair. Life isn't fair, Rachel. Fair would be you realizing what you had before you threw it away. Fair would be you choosing us over validation from strangers. Fair would be me having a wife who was present. But we don't get fair. We get consequences. I walked toward the door. I love you, she called out. I stopped. Turned back. You love the idea of me. You love having someone who was stable while you chased chaos. You love the security I provided while you performed for strangers. But you don't love me enough to stop. And that's the difference. I left her sitting there. My phone buzzed 20 minutes later. A notification that she'd tagged me in a post. I didn't want to look. But I did. It was a photo of her coffee cup at the table where we'd just been sitting. Artistic. Moody lighting. The caption. Sometimes closure looks like sitting across from your past and realizing you've already outgrown it. Sometimes healing means letting go even when part of you still cares. Grateful for the lesson. Ready for what's next. Hashtag moving forward. Hashtag growth mindset. Hashtag releasing what no longer serves. She'd turned our conversation into content before she'd even left the coffee shop. 104,000 followers. 73,000 likes. Derek had commented. His loss. Always has been. Red heart. She'd hearted it. I blocked her. Blocked Derek. Blocked anyone I could see who'd commented. Then I called Michael. I want this done. Whatever she wants, give it to her. I just want out. Marcus. I'm serious. The house. The car. The retirement money. All of it. Draw up papers that end this as fast as legally possible. That's going to cost you close to 300,000. I don't care. I'll rebuild. But I can't do this anymore. I can't watch her turn every moment of our divorce into performance art. All right, I'll draft something. But Marcus, for the record, this is a bad financial decision. For the record, marrying her was too. At least this way, I'm learning from it. We finalized 3 weeks later. Rachel got almost everything she asked for. The house, the car, half my retirement, a year of alimony while she established her content creation career. Her lawyer called it a victory. I called it paying for my freedom. The divorce was final on a Tuesday. I signed the papers in Michael's office. Rachel signed hers remotely. We never saw each other again. That should have been the end. But it wasn't. 2 months after the divorce finalized, my phone started blowing up. Texts from old friends. Calls from former coworkers. Messages from people I hadn't talked to in years. Dude, did you see Rachel's post? Is this true? Man, I'm so sorry. I opened Instagram. Typed in her name, even though I'd blocked her. Used James's phone to see what everyone was talking about. She had 230,000 followers now. And her latest post was me. Not a photo of me. A photo of our wedding day. Me and Rachel, smiling, happy, in love. A version of us that felt like it existed in a different lifetime. The caption was long. A full confession. I need to be honest with you all. I've been sharing my healing journey for months now, posting about growth and self-love and new beginnings. But I haven't been honest about what I healed from. Or more accurately, what I destroyed. 2 years ago, I was married to an incredible man. He was stable, kind, loyal, everything I thought I wanted. But somewhere along the way, I got lost. I started seeking validation from strangers instead of appreciating the love I had at home. I turned our private life into public content. I prioritized likes over my marriage. I let an emotional affair happen because someone online told me what I wanted to hear. And I lost him. Not because he gave up. Because I pushed him away every single day by choosing all of you over him. By needing your approval more than his presence. By performing a life instead of living one. The hardest part isn't the divorce. It's knowing I did this to myself. That I had something real and I traded it for something temporary. That I chose digital validation over actual intimacy. I'm sharing this because I see so many of you making the same mistakes. Chasing followers. Chasing likes. Posting your relationships for approval. And I want you to know, it's not worth it. The person sitting next to you, who loves you without an audience, who sees you without a filter, that person is worth more than every follower, every like, every comment combined. I lost my person because I forgot that. Don't lose yours. To my ex-husband, if you ever see this, I'm sorry. For all of it. You deserved better than what I gave you. You were right about everything, and I was too addicted to validation to hear it. I hope you find someone who appreciates what I took for granted. You deserve that. Hashtag actual accountability, hashtag real talk, hashtag lessons learned, hashtag sorry isn't enough. The post had been up for 6 hours. 412,000 likes. 16,000 comments. The comments were split. Half of them praised her for her honesty. This is so brave. Thank you for being real with us. We all make mistakes. You're growing. This is what real healing looks like. The other half saw through it. You're still using him for content. This is just another performance. You posted your wedding photo without his permission for likes. You haven't learned anything. This is narcissistic. You couldn't even apologize without an audience. I sat there staring at James's phone, reading comment after comment, watching the like count climb. She'd done it again. Turned our relationship into content. Turned her supposed growth into a viral moment. Made her apology public so she could be praised for her honesty. And the worst part? It was working. Her follower count was jumping in real time. People were sharing it, reposting it, calling it the most honest thing they'd ever seen on Instagram. She'd monetized our divorce. Monetized her regret. Monetized everything including the apology I'd never asked for. My phone rang. Rachel. She'd gotten past the block somehow. I answered. Did you see it? She asked immediately. Yeah. I meant every word, Marcus. I know it probably seems like just another post, but I really meant it. I've been thinking about this for months. About us. About what I did. And I needed to say it. Publicly. Because that's where I messed up, so that's where I needed to own it. You needed to own it publicly. Yes. Don't you see? I made our problems public, so my accountability had to be public too. Rachel, you made our problems public without my consent. You turned our marriage into a storyline. You made me the villain, then the lesson, and now you're making yourself the hero for admitting you were wrong. It's still a performance. It's not a performance. It's growth. Then why post it? Why not just grow? Why does your entire life need an audience? Because that's how I process things. Through sharing. Through connection. Through validation. Maybe. But at least I'm being honest about it now. You're being honest about it to 400,000 people. You used our wedding photo without asking me. You told strangers about our divorce, about what I said, about private moments between us. You did all of that for likes, Rachel. That's not honesty. That's exploitation. I was trying to help people. Help people? Or help yourself to more followers. Silence. You gained 50,000 followers from that post, I said, checking James's phone again. In 6 hours. That's what this was really about. Creating viral content. making yourself relatable, turning your regret into engagement. That's not fair. What's not fair is you using our marriage as content even after it's over. What's not fair is me having to see our wedding photo on your Instagram with a caption about how you destroyed us. What's not fair is you apologizing to me through a public post instead of privately, like a normal person. I tried to meet you for coffee. You wouldn't talk to me. Because there's nothing to talk about. We're divorced. It's done. And you just proved why it needed to be done. Because even now, even in your supposed moment of clarity, you can't help but perform it for strangers. I'm not performing. Then delete it. Right now? If that post was really about apologizing to me and not about getting attention, delete it. I heard her breath catch. Marcus. Delete it, Rachel. Prove to me this is about actual growth and not just another viral moment. I can't just delete it. People are responding. People are sharing their own stories. I'm helping. You're not helping anyone. You're feeding the same addiction that destroyed us. The need for validation. The need for strangers to tell you you're a good person because you admitted you were a bad one. Why are you being so cruel? I'm not being cruel. I'm being honest. Something you still don't know how to do without an audience. I hung up. She called back. I didn't answer. She texted, I really am sorry. Even if you don't believe me. I typed back. I believe you're sorry. I just don't believe you've changed. Being sorry isn't the same as being different. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Then, what would different look like to you? I stared at the question for a long time. Finally, I typed. Different would be you realizing that not everything needs to be shared. That some moments are meant to be private. That real growth happens quietly, not virally. Different would be you valuing actual relationships over digital ones. But I don't think you can do that. I think you need the audience more than you need anything real. The dots appeared and disappeared 3 more times. Then nothing. I gave James's phone back. You okay? He asked. Yeah, I think I finally am. 3 days later, Rachel's Instagram account went private. Then a week later, it was gone entirely. I heard about it through mutual friends. Did you see? Rachel deleted her Instagram. All 250,000 followers. Just gone. She posted one final thing before she deleted. Said she was taking a break from social media to work on herself for real this time. I didn't feel victorious. I felt sad. Because even in deleting her account, she'd made it a public moment. Even in walking away, she'd needed to announce it. Needed one last round of applause for doing what she should have done 2 years ago. But at least she'd done it. A month passed. Then 2. Then 3. I moved out of James's place into my own apartment. Smaller than the house. Quieter. Mine. I started rebuilding. My savings. My routine. My life. And then one day, I ran into her. At a grocery store, of all places. Late on a Thursday night. I was buying ingredients for dinner. She was in the produce section, picking through tomatoes. She looked different. No makeup. Hair in a messy bun. Wearing jeans and a hoodie. Normal. Almost like the girl I'd married 7 years ago. She saw me before I could decide whether to say hello. Marcus. Her voice was soft. Uncertain. Rachel. We stood there in the fluorescent lighting, surrounded by vegetables, not knowing what to say. How are you? She finally asked. Good. You. I'm okay. Different. But okay. I heard you deleted your Instagram. Yeah. 2 months ago. It was harder than I expected. Withdrawal usually is. She smiled slightly. That's accurate. I didn't realize how much of my day revolved around it until it was gone. Checking comments, planning content, taking photos. Without it, I had to figure out what I actually liked doing. Did you? I'm working on it. I got my old job back. Graphic design. Turns out they needed someone and were willing to give me a second chance. That's good. It's humbling. Starting over. Being entry-level again. But it's real. No performance required. We stood in silence for a moment. I'm sorry, she said quietly. For the post. For using our wedding photo. For all of it. I thought I was being honest, but you were right. It was still a performance. Even my apology was curated for maximum impact. I know. I really have changed though. I know you don't believe me, and I don't blame you. But I deleted everything. Not because you told me to. Because I realized I couldn't actually heal while broadcasting my healing. Does that make sense? It does. I miss you, she said. Not for content. Not for stability. Just, I miss you. The real you. The conversations we used to have. The way you'd make me laugh. The person I was when I was with you before I got lost. I looked at her. really looked at her. She meant it. I could tell. But meaning it wasn't enough. I miss who you were too, I said. But we can't go back to that. Too much happened. Too much damage. I know. I just wanted you to know that I see it now. Everything you tried to tell me. You weren't controlling or insecure or any of the things I called you. You were trying to save us while I was destroying us for likes. Rachel, I'm not asking for another chance. I know that door's closed. I just wanted you to know that you were right. About everything. And I'm sorry it took losing you to figure that out. She grabbed her tomatoes, put them in her basket. Take care of yourself, Marcus. You too. She walked away. Didn't look back. Didn't pull out her phone to document the moment. Just left. I stood there for a while, holding a bell pepper I didn't remember picking up, processing what had just happened. She'd apologized. Quietly. Privately. Without an audience. Maybe she really had changed. But it didn't matter. Not for us. Some bridges, once burned, can't be rebuilt. Some damage is permanent. Some lessons come too late. I put the bell pepper back and finished my shopping. That night, I made dinner in my quiet apartment. Ate alone. Watched a show. Went to bed early. No notifications. No comments. No audience. Just me. Living my life. Privately. And that was enough. 6 months later, I was dating someone new. Emily. A teacher. She owned one social media account that she checked maybe twice a week. Posted photos of her dog and her classroom. Had 300 followers, mostly family and friends. She'd never heard of Instagram influencers. Didn't understand the appeal. Thought posting your life online was weird. I love that about her. We were at dinner when she asked about my ex-wife. What happened there? She asked. If you don't mind talking about it. I took a sip of wine. She chose strangers on the internet over our marriage. That's specific. She was obsessed with social media. Posted constantly. Needed validation from thousands of people she'd never met. And when I asked her to stop, she filed for divorce. Wow, that's rough. It was. But it taught me what I actually need in a relationship. What's that? Someone who's present. Someone who values privacy. Someone who doesn't need an audience to feel worth something. Emily smiled. Well, I definitely don't have an audience. Unless you count 23 8-year-olds who think I'm ancient. Perfect. We finished dinner. Walked to her car. She didn't check her phone once. And that's when I knew I'd be okay. Later that night, curiosity got the better of me. I searched Rachel's name on Instagram. Her account was still deleted. But there was a new account. Small. Private. Only 73 followers. The bio read, graphic designer. Dog mom. Learning to live offline. Her profile picture was her and a golden retriever. She was smiling. No makeup. No filter. No performance. Just her. I didn't request to follow. Didn't reach out. Just closed the app. She was healing. In her own way. Finally doing the work privately instead of publicly. And I was moving forward. With someone who'd never make me compete with a screen. We both got what we needed. Just not from each other. And that's how some stories end. Not with reconciliation or revenge. Not with one person winning and the other losing. Just with two people moving in different directions, finally learning the lessons they needed to learn. Sometimes the only way to find yourself is to lose what you thought you needed. Rachel learned that through strangers on the internet. I learned it through silence. And in the end, we both grew. Just not together. If you made it this far, thanks for staying with me through all of this. I know it's messy. I know it's painful. But that's what real growth looks like. Not perfect. Not curated. Just honest. And that's all any of us can really do. Be honest. Even when it costs us everything. Especially then.